Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I am your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today we're going to do a real basic beginner's guide on Gambits for the Warden class in the Lord of the Rings online MMO. If this does help you and you like Lord of the Rings content or anything Tolkien or LOTRO or any of that jazz, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm always happy to answer comments for the guide videos too, or if you have another idea for a guide video in the future that you would need. Right now, I am not a super, I'll just say it right now, huge Warden player. I have played many hours of my Warden, but I'm not max level. I play a couple other classes too, but I do know how the Gambits work, and we're going to talk about it right now for brand new players, because I had a couple comments from my subscribers that needed some really basic beginners help with Gambits and how they work. Okay, so let's start from the beginning here real quick. You get 3 different abilities that kind of do your combos with Gambits. You get Quick Toss, and this changes, I think, to Quick Stab in your different stances. So let me go into a different stance here for a second. In the Fray stance, so now it's called Quick Thrust. Just a little side note, it does change depending on which stance you're in. Stances give you different abilities. So the In the Fray stance adjusts the stance to deal more melee combat damage, okay? And the Assailment one adjusts you to be more of a ranged character that makes all your regular abilities do ranged attacks. But we need to talk about something. So the first things first is this little Gambit bar here, okay? This little Gambit bar kind of shows you what you can do. When you're at a certain level, when you start the game, it's only 2, 3 Gambits, and then you get up to 5, where you can do these special combinations as you do stuff, okay? You get these, let's just start from scratch. This is for a beginner's guide, so we're gonna start really from scratch here. I do know what I'm talking about with this though, mind you. I know I said I don't play this character a lot, but I do have like over 100 hours still on my Warden, so I do know how this works. So basically we're gonna use this lizard as a test subject here. I'm sorry, sir. So basically we just start with, we just Q, all right? And then I'm gonna use another Q. All right, so there we go, use Q twice. And now if you notice, this one opens up, or it's either here at the end, Deft Strike, or I put it here. I usually put the 3 combo words on the left, and then wherever that one is to press, okay? So, and you know what's gonna make this a little easier? I'm gonna make this a little bigger for you, 1 second. All right, so that's not gonna look very pretty, but it's huge now. So you can see, there's the Gambit thing to show you what Gambits you're doing. And then down here we have, again, 1, 2, and 3 is our main slots there, and then our roar, right? Because again, all I want you to see is the skills, right? While I do things, all right, to test things. All right, so again, I just blew up the radar too. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Let's turn down the music just a tiny bit because the music's a little loud and it's gonna be hard for me to explain things. All right, so again, my things have got messed up a little bit my way my skills are because of a rework that just happened, right? They do that sometimes. So now if you can see here, if I go into using Spear Shield, that's gonna give me a different ability called the Boot, right? It's a pretty cool, it's a good interrupt skill and all that stuff. And now you're asking me, well, how do you know all the Gambits? And there's more combos, right? Because you can do Spear, Shield, Spear, Shield, Spear. Now, a lot of them, this is why, in my personal opinion, the Warden is probably one of the most complicated characters in Lord of the Rings Online as a class. And honestly, like any class I played in any MMO or video game ever, because there's so much memorization that's involved. But you can open up your C character, go to skills, and go to the Gambits tab. This is the lifesaver, because now if you wanted to, you could even just leave this open over here, right? Now, you cannot drag and drop these onto your bar because they're not skills that you just trigger to effect. But I'm gonna now show you a couple other tricks you can do while you're in combat, okay? So look, there's the ranged boot, right? Or the boot, and you can see Assailment, these are only ones you're going to be able to do in your Assailment form. Okay, so I'm going to close it because we're using the Determination. You can use these all the time. Reckless Gambits. So these are all fine. So let's say I want to use a high combo one. Let's use the Cauterizer Steel. Okay, this one is Shield, Stab, Spear. Oh, it's the one I literally said. Spear, Shield, Spear, Shield, Spear, Shield. Okay, so that's the combo for this one. So I need something that has enough HP that'll survive Spear, Shield, Spear, Shield, Spear, Shield 5 times. Whew, that's a tongue twister. All right, so again, normally you could use your ambush and stuff, but we're not doing that. We're doing real basic here. So what I might use both of these guys. So I got Spear, Shield, Spear, Shield, Spear. Now if you see, it changed. There's my special one. I could click it there, or I could click it on my bar because I have the one here. Boom. All right, so there's the effect of that one. Pretty cool. And it actually looks like I can just use that again. All right, so a serious strike hit your opponent with a red hot weapon. Wounded, this skill will consume any power attack, mighty blow, or whatever. Cool. So it tells you what it does to you. You can always hover all these and read what they do ahead, like how much damage it hits 3 times with their main hand, your main hand, your main hand, which is your spear. And then it also reduces their incoming healing by 10% for 20 seconds. So cool. But now you're asking me, Zollin, you're asking, well, this seems a lot of work to build up every time. Well, that's why they give you these things. They have these combo things. Now, I like to put them on to my bar, but you can get them in your active stuff. They're right here under active gambits. So again, we have your basic gambit, which is stab or throw spear, javelin, depending on what stance you're in, okay? You have your gambit default, which is the one you want to put in your 4th slot, which is basically this, right? That activates whatever combo you just did or made. Your bash, which is your secondary one, and your roar, okay? Usually whichever one starts, usually if shield starts first, it's a defensive gambit. Spear starts first, it's a damaging gambit, and yell starts first, it's some kind of utility, heal, or taunt. That's not always the case, okay? But that's a pretty good generalisticness to help you out while you're playing a Warden, okay? The next thing is we have recovery and quick recovery. What this does, okay, it's these two right here. All right, I need to move this Corgi. Get out of here, Corgi. That's not supposed to be there. Again, my things got moved around. I should have checked this. Excuse me for that little oversight there. So we have recovery. Even Wardens can make mistakes. This skill resets the Gambit panel completely. Clears all Gambits. So it says it costs 13 mana. It's a 2-second cooldown. And it clears all Gambits. So if you do spear, shield, and you're like, oh, no, it needed to be spear, roar, or something, you could just click that and remove all of them. Or you have quick recovery, which removes 1 gambit, and it's the last one, okay, mid-stroke. So what that means is if you realized you made the mistake before you did the whole thing, so if I wanted to do spear, then shield, and in case I did a shield again, right, oh no, it didn't do anything because the combo's not right, I could clear just the last one, and then do spear, and now I could do my 3rd ability. Did you see how that worked? Did you see, while I click those buttons? Was that too fast? You good? You following along, my friends? All right. So that is how you're going to do that, right? That's what those are for. And now we have these nice little things, which again are found in your abilities here. And what these are is they're double casts, okay? They allow you to instantly double cast. And there's another cool thing Wardens can do. They have a battle preparation. You are preparing for battle, duration 15 seconds, allowing the Warden to build a gambit before the battle starts. So if you're someone that's like, I want to start with this gambit, but gosh, I'm having troubles, I want to have it ready. I can click this and I can actually build a certain gambit. So again, let's pretend like I'm just totally brand new, right, with you guys. And I'm like, well, let's see, what gambit do we want to set up here? We're like looking. So again, this one, they'll add combos. So this one is shield. This one is shield spear. This one is shield roar. This one is, I did them in order, okay, to make it simpler in my mind. I went spear, shield, spear, roar. Just like I did these in order. Spear, shield, that. And then it's shield. Sounds so silly what I'm doing right now. Shield, spear, shield, roar. And then you have roar, right? Roar, shield, roar, spear. All right, I did them in order like that. So watch this. If I wanted to, I could do fist and fist, double roar. It instantly adds 2 roars, which is the fist. And then I can cast my ability. And I don't have to click the roar 2 times to do the same thing. See, that's the same ability. It's still the goad or whatever. That's an AoE roar that does, you gain protection effects, allowing you some benefits, okay? So now let's say I want to do this one. I want to do the dark before the dawn. So if I'm going to prepare for battle and I want to have dark before the dawn ready to go, okay, this ability. First, I got to prepare for my thing here. I should have the ability to cleanse. Where's my cleanse? There it is. There it is. Okay. Everyone has a cleanse ability for when you have a bleed or something, right? Every class has that now. So if I want to attack this wolf, I want to have the dark before the dawn ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click prepare for battle, and then I need to click the one that is spear shield, okay? You could just do it right here in order. You could go click spear shield, like and prepare before battle to combo it. So let's say I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh no, I want to clear it. I don't want to do that. And then I want to do, okay, spear shield, which is this one. Again, you can turn it back on if you didn't do it right. There's no cooldown. Spear shield, and then I want spear roar, which would be this one. Nope, I messed that one up. See, it's hard. This is hard. I haven't played my Warden in months. So, again, you're going to have to still memorize these help, but you're still going to, oh, excuse me, then Spear Roar, which is the one right next to it, and then I'm just going to cast Spear. Now it's ready, and I can run up, and I can immediately cast it when the fight's in. It's combat. There it is, right? There was my combo I just cast. And that gave me a special ability on my actual character. What does it give again here? You gain plus 34 power every 4 seconds for 16 seconds. So you gain some power over time. You're running low on mana. That's probably not one you want to start with in a combat. Just side note, that would be something you want to do mid-combat when you're, need more mana. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works with Gambits, okay? Now there are reactionary things that happen too, and now again, remember, you can also do your other stance. They'll look the same, except if you notice it puts a little spear symbol on there, meaning if you hover them all now, their range are all 30 meters, okay? The roar, mind you, is always 10 meters, but the other ones are 5.2 and 5.2, basically up close, 5 meters. In this game, don't think of it like real meters. It's more of a distance of like a spear is like 5 meters in Lord of the Rings Online. Even though technically I think it's supposed to be like meters in real life, but 15 feet, I mean, there's some spears that might be almost that, but that's pretty huge. Side note, all right, so I'm gonna go into range stance here, and I'm gonna fight this wolf at range, so you can actually kite. So again, if you're someone new, you may be wanting to leave open your Gambit tab. Remember, the active tab are the things that build your Gambits and are just your regular abilities like any class. That's special about the Wardens is you have the Gambit tab, and this is the one you can use to learn as you play and as you level up. Because as you level up, you'll get more and more of these. This character's only level 50, so when you're level 140, you'll probably have quite a few more Gambits too to use and spells. But usually in this game, most of your stuff around 50, you get a big majority of your stuff at that point. And then after that, you're really only scaling up like your legendary weapon and your gear and stuff like that. Little side note. And obviously your trait tree. Your trait tree is where you're going to get your other skills, and you'll be able to get more stuff into that. But usually by level 50, you can get most of your abilities. So now that I have range, I can use, let's say, Roar, Shield, Roar. Now I can use this Brink of Victory. And if you notice, I can like kite backwards while I do this, okay? I'm gonna do triple shield. Now triple shield doesn't do anything. Mind you, if you do triple shield, what it's gonna do is it's just gonna use the double shield skill, but you won't be able to build up any past that double shield skill, so then I can just cast the double shield skill. Just a little side note. So if something's not changing your Gambit, you'll realize you just made a mistake, and there is nothing after whatever you did at the beginning of it. So it kind of like overrides whatever comes after. Okay, little side note, it kind of overrides what you've already done. So while you're doing your Gambits, you got to think about that. So if you, that's why you got to watch these over here. So Restoration's a cool one. So it's, now again, remember, I can prepare ahead of time. So if it's shield, spear, shield, spear, shield, I can just go this, all right, and this is the shield spear. I'm gonna cast it twice, and then cast shield. And look, I can just cast it. Boom, and then I attack him, and look, now I'm getting my little restoration heal. It's kind of, I know the health bars are crossing over because I blew up the UI is so big for you to see. All right, so I'm just gonna get out of the stun. And again, I'm in range still, so all of my attacks are pretty much with my javelin, unless they get close enough, I pull my spear out. Wardens are cool because I use javelins and spears, and everyone thinks javelins are cool. I think javelins are cool. So there's this is basically saying I can still use my thing, and then it goes away. All right. And the Way of the Shield. The Warden's also known the Sunrise Path of Victory. Now this is this does not meet the targets. Let's see here. To match the type of a Gambit used. Oh, very cool, very cool. Okay, so I want to let's test this real quick. I actually have not seen this skill. All right, so I'm going to use this Gambit. All right. All right, that is that's one I have not used that ability yet. That's a newer ability. They did a couple updates on the Warden a few months ago, and I have not played my Warden in a few months. So this one is very interesting. This skill changes the match type of the Gambit used. Interesting. The Way of the Shield will consume all your active techniques to improve your healing from shield Gambits. Oh, for a brief time. Okay, okay. So you have to have a okay, for your healing Gambits. Oh, interesting. So if you have anything else active, you can click that to consume it for your healing ones, when you're casting your healing ones. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's probably to help Wardens tank a little better. They needed that, so that's a nice thing. And then they have things like real basics. You have Shield Slam. This is one that I would also just put, you know, secondary to get ready to help you. Have Careful Step. You can go into Stealth, right, to ambush things. So you can go into Stealth. A lot of people probably know this if you've played the Warden. And you have Stealth Ambush. You throw this immediately. It knocks them out. You can run up. And you also have Reckless, another spear attack that buffs you up. And you can start beating them up, right? And again, I'm still in the range combat, so I'm going to go into melee. I could have just started throwing a range at him. And if you notice here, when I change stances, that ability... oh, that ability is changing. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Wardens know the sunrise. This skill changes to use. Okay. The way of the spear will consume all your techniques to improve your initial damage. Oh, okay. All right, all right. That's pretty cool. All right. All right. Spear. So you have to have other things up to be able to cast those things, though. Oh, I need another target. Quick. Give me a target. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Cool. Just cast a couple more things here for you guys. Oh, and now I can use this one. Okay, all right. It's very cool. Well, I'm gonna go in. We'll go into that into a more deep dive onto the Warden in the future for that particular skill. I need to work on that one myself. But hopefully that helped you with the Gambits. That was the big one I wanted to talk about today. The Gambits for beginners. They're really cool. I'm probably gonna be playing my Warden more, so I will do a more in-depth guide video in the future for you guys, besides just the basic Gambits. But remember, these ones that allow you to instantly cast, the preparation ability, these ones that allow you to remove if you made a mistake, the green ones, and then really it all comes down to your 3 abilities here, and then which stance you're in, and then triggering it with this ability, okay? And this Gambit thing helps you remember what ones you've already clicked. All right, that's about it, my friends. Never surrender. Oh, if you fall below, I didn't actually realize they had this ability now. Again, these were added recently. Well, I don't know about recently when this video goes up, but since I played it like 7 months ago, my character. Very cool. So they're pretty fun. They're a lot of fun. And Wardens hasn't always been my go-to class personally, but I have enjoyed playing my Warden a lot in the past. So I do recommend if you like a real big challenge and you like memory things and stuff in a game and you want your MMO to be a little bit more challenging than just clicking buttons randomly sometimes, again, that's never really the case with any class on LOTRO. You really need to be selective when you do abilities and stuff. But just from a very simplistic point of view, it adds a lot more complexity to having the Gambits in the game. So hopefully that helps you out as a new player, though, with Gambits. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you to my patrons for their support. And we will cover a few of those other skills with Wardens in the future as well on the channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. What would you like to see in the future for more guide videos? Subscribe button's right there. Next episode will be up there for guides, and over there is a LOTRO tale. And as much as I have tons of experience in this game, I too am always learning the game. But my goal is to try to give you guys as much information as I can share. And the real blessing is when you guys leave a comment to say, oh, I'd love a video on this. Because for me, it helps me out to be able to know what you want next. In fact, this was a requested video by one of my subscribers, Nick. So thank you for requesting it. But it really does help because a lot of times if you played a game and you're kind of muscle memorizing everything, it's hard to think what exactly would people need when they're brand new and starting out, right? It's hard to remember exactly. Like I can remember some things. That's what a lot of the guide videos I've already made. Like, oh, I remember I need help with this, so I should make a video about that. But I love to hear that, especially because the game evolves and gets updates and all that kind of stuff. So for newer players coming in right now, compared to when I started 15 years ago, makes a big difference, right? So I love this game, though. It's a great game. I highly recommend it. And I will see you guys all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Thanks for listening, my friends. I'll see you.